Biden to nominate first Muslim religious freedom ambassador. On July 30th, the Biden administration announced its intent to fill the leadership roles in the Religious Affairs Committee. According to the White House, the positions will be under the U.S. Commission on International Religious Freedom, which is within the U.S. State Department. And also, one of my favorite things about the U.S. State Department is USRIF. I'm a huge nerd. Rashad Hussain, an Indian American Muslim, will be the first Muslim to hold the ambassador at large role in the U.S. International Religious Affairs Commission if the Senate approves his appointment. Hussain is a Hafiz, who is a person who has memorized the Quran and has held similar positions during the Obama administration. For example, in 2010, he was the special envoy representing the U.S. to the Organization of the Islamic Conference. So I wanted to cover this news just because I thought it was very interesting. It's significant. And honestly, I think this is pretty cool. People might disagree with me, but I am proud that my country nominates religious minorities to such authoritative and stigmatized religious minorities to such authoritative positions. I think I'm speculating from, an Indian Muslim background. He is probably more familiar with the reality of what religious minorities have to go through across the world, and perhaps may have more insight into these types of issues than other people. But maybe that is controversial for some people. And AGA is bringing up what I also kind of love about this is she's saying, oh, I can just hear the Christian right saying, quote, he's bringing the Sharia. I thought it was, I don't know, I liked this. What do you think, Armin?
What is his job description? What is he supposed to do?
He's the ambassador at large to the U.S. International Religious Affairs Commission. So he is kind of one of our largest spokespeople on the international stage, advocating for the issues of religious freedom, which is really belief-based freedom. Although it's
religious freedom or Muslim religious freedom?
Religious freedom.
It says in first. Oh, okay.
He's just the first Muslim to hold this position. Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Previously, he had positions that were more specific to Islamic issues, but now this is overall.
Would he fight for atheists as well?
I don't know, but that is within the purview of his work.
Okay.
He's supposed to.
I mean, if you're, I think, yeah. I mean, this is a good job to. I'm glad if that's what his role is, to fight for people who are being discriminated against. This is a good. I'm glad that this job exists. I just hope that this is a job that is supposed to be fighting against discrimination, not a job that is supposed to be fighting for privilege, right? I mean, I'm gonna be positive about it. I'm hoping like that's what it is. It would be very cool if you could see a Muslim, an Indian Muslim American, fighting for against atheist discrimination. That would be the most based. That would be the most awesome thing.
Right.
That would be like actually, that would be amazing. Can we keep an eye on this guy and see if he will ever do that? Because that would be the most based news segment ever. Indian American Muslim ambassador for religious freedom fights against anti-atheist discrimination in America. I want that title. I want that news title. Make it happen. Come on. What's this guy's name? What is this guy's name?
His name is Rashad Hussain.
Rashad. Come on, Rashad. I know. Come on, Rashad. Come on. Come on, Rashad. Please make it happen. Go on.
So I also just wanted to talk a little about this because, like I said, I'm a huge nerd for USRIF. Okay, like I'm a simp for USRIF. So the USRIF stands for the United States Commission on International Religious Freedom, and it is a function within the State Department. So they don't have direct power, but they are a body that studies statistically, they produce reports, and they study the issue of in religious freedom violations across the world. And so oftentimes you'll see news reports where they put out this country fell down the list on international freedom, this country was added to the list. Like that's part of what USRIF does. They also commission people to create reports on statistics. So, for example, USRIF produced a 2020 blasphemy report where they studied in great detail the issue of blasphemy and free expression violations across the world.
Wow.
I read the entire report because I use that as a basis for the data that I bring to you guys. Right? They include atheists in that report. They cover, it's called religious freedom when really it is belief-based freedom. Okay, they do cover atheists or non-believers within the purview of their work.
Yeah, that naming needs to change, because they do operate for like non-religious people as well, and they are like for free speech and against blasphemy laws, right? So I mean a lot of people say religious freedom includes freedom from religion as well. So maybe yeah, go on. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
And so they're involved with making policy recommendations to the U.S. State Department in terms of their bilateral international relationships with various countries that may or may not be involved with violations of international conventions surrounding, freedom of belief. And I love USRIF because they actually do a lot to advocate for persecuted people across the world, including atheists. So they have oftentimes put out statements regarding Mubarak Bala, who is currently illegally detained Nigerian atheist activist who was the president of the Humanist Association of Nigeria. I've even seen one woman who, I can't remember her role, but I remember her seeing her speak as a representative of USRIF, even tweeting about that she was aware of what Zara K, our friend Zara K, was going through in Tanzania. I remember her tweeting, "We are aware of the case of Zara K, the atheist ex-Muslim activist, So they are involved in atheist issues. I have heard that they may be involved or tried to be involved with fighting for the freedom of Junaid Hafiz, who is persecuted for blasphemy in Pakistan, for example. So they do really, really amazing work. And during the previous administration, the Trump administration, it was, I believe, Senator Brownback who was appointed to this. Sam Brownback, who was appointed to this position, and I saw him getting involved in issues surrounding non-belief as well. And this is a Trump appointee, so it's definitely within. We are not excluded from the purview of this branch of the U.S. government.
All right. Seems like some people are confused. Mercy is saying, Mercy, you're not listening. Mercy is saying, why is policy that is supposed to be secular, fighting for specific religious right? I don't understand this. What are you talking about? Can you explain this? Wait, this is not about any yeah, go on.
Well, let me
this is
correct this question. However, why is it a policy that is supposed to be secular fighting for specific religious rights within the policy?
It's not.
You're confused. There are international covenants surrounding people's free expression of their belief. Internationally, most countries are signees of some degree or some version of these international standards. There are many covenants. And so it is about telling the State Department about when different countries are violating their agreements, right? It's not that they are fighting for religious privilege, okay? They're fighting for countries or reporting on countries' violations of their what they agreed to. They are publishing information, statistics, videos, conferences, about when people's rights, not privileges, are being abused or disallowed.
What about people who are concerned that this man, because he's a Muslim, he's not going to be fair or balanced? You know, yeah.
I think it is bigoted to assume that until we see evidence otherwise.
Yeah, and I would say that then you can't have anybody there because if you put an atheist there, there might be bias towards atheists, and maybe if you want to assume that an atheist in that position could not be fair towards Muslims, right? If you want to assume that based on someone's personal beliefs, right? So that's what I would say.
Secular Rarity has a good comment. They're saying secular is about not giving extra rights or demonizing specifically because of religion, which means if countries are discriminating because of religion, they are in violation of what the U.S. State Department is set up to do, or they're in violation of their international covenants, and USRIF is there to inform our government about these violations. They put out really amazing work.
What are the chances of some... No, they're not following it. But I was wondering if we could collect some Hindut for butthurt over this. But this is
my gosh. Well, he still needs to be approved by the Senate to this appointment. So it's going to get a lot more news. I would be interested to see if there is any contention amongst the Christian right about this when that comes up. But should he actually succeed in being appointed, I would love to see the Hindut for butthurt.
Yeah, but this might fly under the radar because I don't know if they're going to notice this, but we'll see. Would be fun though to just collect some butthurt. Okay.
We collect the salt. We're salt collectors.
Yes. Okay. Is there anything you want to highlight before we go to the next news?
Nothing except Secular Rarity is saying, right, Susanna. I love when I'm told that I'm right. USRIF is designed to focus on that specifically, and it's awesome he's been nominated. Yeah. I think I'm going to brag on my country because I think it's awesome.
Yeah. Let's be careful, though.
Not to play identity politics.
Yeah, because we don't want to assume that... We don't want to give in to people who assume he's going to be bad at his job because he's Muslim, but we don't want to also assume that he's going to be great at it because he's a Muslim either, right? We're just... celebrating the fact that it didn't have, it didn't hold him back for getting that position. That's what we're celebrating. But if he sucks at his job, then he sucks at his job independently from his personal beliefs, right? Like we could criticize him, and if he does well, we could also highlight that as well. But yeah, go on.
Well, I want to be very clear. I am celebrating this intent to this appointment because I think it reflects something that I think is too rare in this world. I think it is demonstrating that America is a country, one of the rare countries where we would appoint a stigmatized religious minority to a position of this power. And I think that's awesome. And that's something I love about my country and the values of some of the people in this country. I'm not going to claim all because it's clearly not the case, but how about that?
Let's hope that it progresses enough to the point where atheists enjoy that level of being accepted as well.
Openly atheist too.
Openly atheist.
Hey guys, if you're a fan of Blasphemy and Sexy Callie, like me, then you need to be sure to subscribe to our newsletter, link in the description below. Because if you subscribe, we will send you a free copy of our Blasphemous Art ebook. And let me tell you, it is the tastiest blasphemy that you can find anywhere available today. And we are so generous with our blasphemy that we continue to send you more blasphemy every week. So make sure to subscribe, link in the description below.